Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome again. Woohoo!
Yes, we is
I can't believe
back.
we're on third episode. That's
Oh my God.
crazy.
Don't get me started. Do not get me started. But before we start, we just want to represent because we're twinning today.
Yeah,
We both have,
wicked. Heck
we
yeah.
both have seen Wicked. I saw it on Broadway, while Gracie here saw it in London, right?
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
was
goodness.
so fun. Amazing. So much
Yeah.
fun seeing in London.
And I saw Wicked actually 3 times on Broadway, believe it or not.
Ooh,
Yep,
bougie. Oh
I
my
know.
goodness. Look at you,
Very,
Broadway
very
gal.
bougie. Exactly. But yes, welcome back, everyone. And just a reminder, I'm Jadzia or Jazzy,
I'm Gracie or Grace.
and we are here again to help you guide through college. And we just want to thank everybody because we are so grateful to have the show again. We're grateful for everyone. We want to shout out our love. And Gracie, is there anything else you want to say before we begin?
Um, I just to say we feel so grateful for all of you, and we're just so grateful that we get to share our advice. And also, please, on the note of advice, please email our email with any questions you have according to college, because that's what we're talking about in this podcast. So if you have any questions on college, anything you want us to share about, any questions about us personally, please email us. Our email is hold on. Let me look it up because I
It'd be
always
like,
forget the actual like I don't want to say it wrong. College 101 Squad Podcast at gmail.com. So please email us because we're doing this for you, with you. So please let us know what you want to talk about and
yep,
we'll make this topics based on that. So
yep. So to begin, we're going to actually talk about 2 things today. We're going to talk about clubs and organizations to join and our personal stories about them. And then we're also going to talk about, advice on giving on like when you start beginning classes. Because believe me, first day of college with classes, not a great combination if you don't know what you're doing.
yep.
So one thing, when you go away to college, especially if you don't have friends or anyone that you know coming along with you, which that was me. I had nobody when I went away 6 hours away from the city to college. So clubs and organizations are like the best way to meet new people. I remember when I started college because this was prior to COVID. Because I know Gracie, her experience was a little different. But with me, we did like an in-person involvement fair. I remember like our college, we did it out. They had it outside. It was on the weekend right before college classes started. So it was that whole weekend of everyone moving in. And like sometimes involvement fairs are different. Like sometimes I think throughout the years, our college even like did it like later in the weeks or they had like multiple ones throughout the week in the afternoon. So that way, everyone is able to like come at their own time. But it's a great way to like go meet meet clubs, find out what you like, what you may not like. I even have a funny story. I remember I was like trying to go to all these different types of clubs. Like I was like trying to like sign up for all these ones. And then I got to this dance group and it was so funny because like I'm like trying to talk to them and show my personality and they were just deadpan like ugh. Like they just did it they had it was yeah, it was the weirdest
No
thing. Like they
way.
yeah, and it was so funny because I one someone in our major in my year, she became a part of that dance group and she was like, yeah, like when you first meet them, they're very standoffish, but like if you end up joining, like they're like very, very friendly people, which I thought was kind of weird. Cause it's
That
like
is weird.
like when you go to meet a club, like you gotta like be all like energetic, like hello, welcome. What are you interested in? Whatever, whatever. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I remember I was like talking to this Caribbean club because if you know, for anyone who doesn't know, my mother's from Barbados and my dad's family's from Trinidad. So I'm Caribbean through and through. And yo, this guy, he was so funny. Like I think he was Trinidadian and he was talking in his accent. He was like, "Oh, you came back?" Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I came back. I wanted to sign up." It was so funny. Like that's like the vibe you want to get, with
Yeah.
a club. And that's what I like. When you get a good vibe from a club, if they're like trying to pull you in, like that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But Gracie, tell us about your experience because when you were a freshman, it was so different.
Yeah. My freshman year was definitely interesting. Um, I don't even know if they did a club fair. Oh, they did it online. They did
They
it
did
through
it.
like they did a Zoom. Didn't they do like a Zoom or something?
Okay. Well, I remember that. I remember with the theater department. I remember they did their little theater get together in the beginning of the semester on Zoom. I remember that
Oh,
vividly.
yes. Oh my goodness.
That was so weird.
That was so awkward. I was like, I don't know what to do right now. I'm in my dorm and I'm like, I don't know anyone right now and I'm on a Zoom with complete strangers. I was like, okay, let's do this. I
Yeah.
was so like, I wanted to join as many clubs as possible. I was like, I don't care how many awkward moments I'm gonna have. I need to meet people as fast as possible. So I like did a lot of online Zoom meetings. My a cappella group that I was in, that I'm
Yeah.
still in, did online Zoom rehearsals. So
How
we had
Wait,
that
how is that even possible? Because Zoom
I
sucks with
it's
music.
not possible. That's what. So basically, we all muted ourselves and we sang to ourselves. So we never actually heard each other sing all together, except for if we
What?
recorded our voices and put it together, but that was until the end of the semester. So I think I learned a whole part of a song totally wrong and no one caught it because I was online. I was on Zoom. We all muted ourselves. It was a funny, I laugh about now just because I was like, how did we like, they listened to us sing to audition. So I had to send in a video to audition. So they knew I had, they let me into the group. They knew my voice and everything. But I didn't hear everyone else's voices because we were all alone in our rooms, like muted and everything. I really don't know how it worked out, but it did. We're still here today. So, but yeah, it
That's
was definitely
insane.
weird. Yeah.
That's insane. I had no clue that's what y'all did. That's insane. That's
Yeah.
up because like I remember when COVID hit, like theater performing, that really took a toll. And that really was
Yes.
upset because that's what Gracie and I like that's what we really bonded over, with theater. And like I remember we were doing this show, but of course we couldn't perform live, so we like did this weird online video recording where we all had to like meet up at certain times to record. It was, oh
Was
my
it
gosh, no.
Ernest? What it
No, it was oh gosh. It was like it was it was the spoof off of Hamlet.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it was that one. And it was so funny because like we had like one of my scenes I had to have a green screen and I'm like acting in front of the green screen, acting as if someone's next to me and then like someone else is feeding my line. Then they had to do it for
Oh,
the other person who was supposed to be talking to me, and then they had someone splice it togetit. And
that
I was
is
like,
weird.
it was weird. And then like, we had to be at a certain distance. So that way I have my mask off and, then it was ridiculous. And it was funny because
Yikes.
it's funny, we did outdoor scenes away from campus. So it was funny because in those scenes, we didn't have our masks on because we didn't have to have them since it was off campus. But if we were on campus, we had to either have our mask on or one person didn't have it on while everyone else did to record. It was ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
And we went off on a little tangent, but it's okay.
Yes. It's
Because
okay.
hey, we
We're
met.
sharing our experience.
Right. You never know. We may have another global pandemic. So
No.
I I hope
No.
not. Well, you know what's funny? Appa-
Not.
Apparently, statistically wise, a global pandemic apparently happens every 100 years. Because 100 years prior to COVID was, I think, the Spanish flu. That's what someone had like told
Ooh,
me. Yeah, apparently.
interesting.
Yep,
Um,
statistically.
I don't want to be here when that happens.
And
I don't.
hopefully we're not, but depending. So, but
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
but Gracie had a funny joke about when it comes to doing clubs and meeting organizations and stuff. Like, tell them the joke, Gracie.
Oh, yes. Yes. I had to think about what that joke was at first. So, uh, meeting people and joining clubs, the movies make it seem way different than it is. And I hear that a lot from people who also go to college, and they're like, yikes, like these movies did not depict this. Like Pitch Perfect, for example. I love Pitch Perfect. Love it. And being in an a cappella group, I'm like, I'm living out my Pitch Perfect dreams right now. But we don't do riff offs with anyone, which honestly I'm kind of sad about. So if you have a cappella group on campus, let me know. We can do riff off. But anyway, back on subject. Um, so Pitch Perfect, basically they beg her to join the group. They like there's an awkward scene where Chloe follows Becca into the bathroom. I won't get into it. Watch the movie. It's amazing. Watch it. But anyway, follows her into the bathroom and like begs her to join the group. Groups won't do that. Thank goodness. For one, I don't want any group following me into the bathroom. But they won't like beg you to join. They want you to join, but they're not going to keep seeking you out. So you need to seek out the group at the fair. Go to the fair, seek people out. We have like at our school we have like a whole we I think we have two fairs two times during the semester and
Yeah.
each semester and all the clubs align their booths outside or inside depending on whether and you can go around and talk to the groups that you want to talk to and ignore the groups that you don't want to talk to. And it's a great way to ask about it. And they usually have like an email list that you can sign up for. My group, like the acapella group that I'm a part of, you have to audition. So we'll have like information about auditions, when they are, where they are. So little stuff like that, go to the fair and seek them out and email them. I emailed all the clubs I was interested in that I didn't see at the fair because mine was online, so some clubs weren't even like going. So I emailed them to make sure that they were still like active. Um, but yeah, they won't like seek you out tons of times. So definitely seek them out and really take ownership of that process because all clubs want new members. It's just there's so many people to seek out. They can't seek out everyone. So just seek them out for yourself. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. And like it's great, when you also like, introduce yourself to like the officers and like other club members. Cause funny enough, I ended up being on e-board for the theater club. I'm not sure if I told you, Gracie, but yeah, I did I was an officer. It was a position that was only just in our theater club, but I was in charge of like doing an improv show like that semester. And oh my gosh, I don't know how I pulled it off, but it's like I feel like it's very rewarding when you join an e-board for a club, only because you learn leadership skills,
Yeah.
you learn how to plan events, you learn communication skills, which sometimes that could be a pain depending on the club you're an officer in. Let me tell you, I had issues with that, but
Yeah.
and you learn that everyone is different. I will at least I learned when I became an officer, I learned that sometimes you really just got to rely on yourself and you got to do so
Yeah.
much on your own, because like sometimes, yeah, you can ask for help, but at the end of the day, we're all busy. And if it's
Yeah.
your event you're doing, you're the one that has to get it done. So that's what I
Yeah.
definitely learned. Were you ever on an e-board, Gracie?
I am right now actually for the acapella group that I'm part of, and I'm also vice
Oh,
president of another organization on campus.
girl,
So
no wonder you
fun stuff.
busy.
Yeah, fun stuff. It's fun. I love the positions. I especially love doing social media stuff. Well,
Mm,
obviously, we're doing this, and that's kind of like part of kind of social media world. I love that stuff. So I love doing secretary stuff, and I love vice president stuff too. So it's really fun. I did not plan on being vice president. It just sort of happened that way, and I was very happy that it happened, but I definitely did not go out for the position. But I was like, they were like, "You want to be vice president?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" More
Yeah,
experience.
and there's many other things you can do. I mean, like there's frats and sororities. I'm not
Yep.
really a person to do that type of thing, but there's some people that are.
Yeah.
And then there's also, being, what is it? In what is it? The student association office, right?
Yep.
Like that's what it
Which
is.
is the
Yeah,
student government on campus.
yes, like there's that. Again, I wasn't too familiar. I don't like that stuff. I'm more like the
Same.
but
Yep.
there's so many different things to try, and that's the good thing about
Yeah.
college. Like there's so many different things you can try. Sometimes there's too much things you can try, you can get overwhelmed,
Yeah.
believe me. But once you find your place and you find your peeps, you're gonna be good.
Yeah. And like don't like there's a happy medium. Like join as many clubs as you want because that's how you meet people, especially freshman year, because if you're going in with not knowing anyone, you're gonna want to meet people. It's gonna be a little lonely at first. So definitely join as many things that interest you. Do clubs that interest you, not just to meet people, because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like when you do things that interest you, you'll meet people who have same interests as you. So that's where
Oh
the
my,
real like friendships happen there.
and
And
it's
then but
it's
also don't burn yourself out though too. Like make
right.
sure to try few for each semester and then maybe not go to one and join a new one or something like that.
It's funny. I actually have an interesting story when you were saying like things that interest you. So one of my good friends I'm still friends with to this day. So we were both in education together, and we were in a class, and we were talking about, like, I think fun facts about ourselves. And I mentioned how, like, my full name Jadzia is based off of a Star Trek character, which it is. Like that's where my parents got my name from Star Trek. So then I was leaving class, and my soon to be friend then comes up to me. She's like, "Oh, like your name's from a Star Trek character?" I'm like, "Yeah." And ironically, her name was from a Star Trek character too, and I recognized it too. Yeah.
No way.
Yep, her parents did the same. Her father did the same thing, like my mother did.
Whoa.
So yeah, so we got to talking, and she said, because in where we went to school, there's a Star Trek museum that was like about an hour and a half away. So she was like, our club is gonna do a trip there. And I was like, "Oh, like what's the club?" So it was like a sciencey type club. And so, but it wasn't like just about like specifically science, like it was about like science fandom, and so like
That's
sci-fi, or
cool.
like, yeah, it was a multitude of things. Oh, it was an astronomy club. That's what it was, astronomy club.
Ooh.
So yeah, so she was like, in order to become a member, you have to come to 3 meetings. That way you can go on the trip. And she's like, you could definitely make the 3 meetings prior to the trip if you want to go. I said, yeah, I want to go. And I did. So like I went to the 3 meetings. That's how
Wow.
yeah, like my friend introduced me to like 2 other people that she was friends with, and I'm friends with them now, and things
That's
like
so
that.
cool.
Yeah, and we all went on the trip. It was so fun, and like, it was just like we were just all nerds geeking out. It was like the best time ever.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, like you honestly never know how you're gonna end up joining a club either. Like people just you run into someone, you talk about your interests, and they're like, "Oh, if you're interested in this, how about you come to our club meeting?" Like there's so many ways you can end up being in a
Yep.
club, being in a club, and like that was just such a funny story. I was like, let me talk about that.
That's a cool story. Oh my goodness. Like it all happened like with having similar names due to similar interests. Like, wow. That is so
Exactly.
cool. Oh my
It
goodness. I love that.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I couldn't believe it myself either.
That is so
But
cool.
yeah, but We don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, so we're gonna move on to our next topic, which is
Yep.
beginning classes. Which Gracie has a funny story about beginning classes when she was it your. I'm assuming it was your second semester, right?
Yes, it was. Well, no, it's my first semester.
I
It's my
thought all your
first.
classes were online though.
No, I had some in person. I was very lucky. I was one of the few ones who had some in-person classes plus
Mm.
online. So this was an in-person class. It was a math class, and I was like, this was first week of school. And on the schedules for it was Tuesday, Thursday class, but on the schedule, the way they do it is T means Tuesday and H means Thursday. And so TH together is what it said. And I thought that TH just meant Thursday, not Tuesday. So I show up on Thursday ready for first class, except it's not actually the first class. So I am feel like so humiliated. I'm like, how the heck did I mess this up? This is my first week of college. I'm like, what the heck is happening? And I'm like about to like cry. Like I'm like so humiliated right now. I go up to my professor at the end. I'm like, I am so sorry. I thought that the first class was Thursday. I thought we just had Thursday classes. And she was like, it's okay. It happens to all the students. It's like totally normal. I totally get the confusion. And she's like, it's okay. Here's the work that you missed. It's like, thank goodness. Thank goodness that she was so nice about it. I was like so humiliated and embarrassed. So if you have questions on the schedule, make sure to ask those questions. Ask around about the days and everything because I made that mistake. I thought TH was Thursday, which is a common mistake to make.
It
But I
really
was
is.
like, I don't know why H means Thursday.
It's so
I'm like, they couldn't have
stupid.
done T and then TH. Like, I'm like, what is up with the scheduling? Like, I'm like, what?
Girl, it was stupid. But yeah, no, but like something Gracie and I both did, I made sure to do it, in my second semester is to make sure you go around campus and find out all the buildings of your classes and, find where the classes are located. That way, you don't get lost. Because believe me, you'll get lost. I know I
Yep,
did.
yep. Yeah, definitely. Every semester, I would, even if I knew the building, I would check out all of the classrooms that I was going to be in, just so I could make sure I could find the building in the classroom before the
Mhm.
first day, before the day I had the class, just in case I got lost and then I couldn't find it, I was late or missed the class. I didn't want that to happen. So I just, that weekend before classes start, I just went and toured, which usually they'll give you some sort of tour during orientation, but that's just helpful to do even every semester, not just freshman year. It was so helpful for me.
Oh yeah. And one thing, let me tell you, because our campus was it wasn't a huge campus, but it was everything was spread out. So
Yeah.
like there were certain buildings that were so far across the way. And then
Yeah.
there was this one building um that it was so huge. Like literally trying to find a classroom, I felt like I was going around a circle because if I had went left, I would have gotten there faster, but I went right and it was a huge circle. And I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I could have just made a left and I would have been
It's
fine. Like, oh my
crazy.
gosh.
I'm like, it's so confusing. Even now, it's like explaining it. I'm like, so you go this way, then you go this way. It's like, and every campus has that too. They have, and it may like, and don't worry about that too, because if you don't have it during the first few days, that's okay. Because I feel like even as a tour guide on my campus, I feel like I'm still learning places that buildings I've not went into yet, and like like campuses usually their campus is a little big. Sometimes there's very small campuses, but couldn't be us. We do not have a small one, but we don't have a huge one. It's just more so spread across.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
There's like,
it's
there was,
you'll figure it out.
I think technically our campus had like there was a building that people say was considered to be off campus because of where it was located.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
weird. I thought that was so weird. I was
It
like,
is a little weird. Yeah, some of the buildings I'm like, what major is in here again? I'm like, I never know. But I also wanted to move on
right.
with emailing and introducing yourself to your professors because
Hmm.
I did this like every single year. Now I have like the same professors over again because I'm getting like it's just my education professors mostly and like the year professor I already knew. So I made it a thing where before classes start each semester, I'd email the professor that I had and just introduce myself. Hi, I'm Grace. I'll be in your class and just kind of introduce yourself, say I'm excited, and yeah, just make a small email to them, say I'm excited, hope you had a wonderful weekend, excited to see you this week for class. And that just really helped me open up the door to having like getting to know my professor and having that professor student relationship in class and knowing that I could trust them. So that helped the trust kind of the mutual trust kind of happen. They knew that I would not slack off as a student and I knew that they would always be there for me.
Yeah, no, that is very important. I mean, like, I pretty much made myself known regardless, but I wish honestly I did that too. But it's funny, like the next topic was like looking at your schedule, making sure, and I even have a funny story with that. Always make sure that even up to the minute you leave, right before you leave for your class, that you keep checking on where it's located and like your professors and everything. Because there was one time, and it was my freshman year too, and it was a few of us that it happened to. Like me and one of my, it was in education. It was me and a friend of mine. We went to class. And there were other people in the class too. We sat down. Like 10 minutes go by. The professor isn't there. It was like 10 of us, and we were like, "What's going on? Like, where is
Yeah.
everybody?" Come to find out, we checked the schedule again. The last minute, the room was switched. As yeah, that it
Oh, that
happens.
hurts.
It happens. So always make sure, like up to the last second, as when you're about to go leave for your class, to make sure you keep checking as to where
Yep.
it is located. Because that happened to me. Another thing happened to me where the head of the department switched the professor that I was gonna have when I myself chose. Yeah, oh, it happened. I myself I was allowed to choose the professor I wanted, but then at some point over the summer, the head of the department changed up who was seeing who and never told anybody about this. So I was
Oh.
pissed. Oh, I was pissed. So I made sure to reach, and the reason why I was pissed was because the person they put me for, because rate my professor, let me tell you, it's your best friend. Because rate my professor told me the professor they put me in was not a good professor. And I picked my professor for a reason. So I emailed the head and I said, look, you put me, like, she was trying to like get out of it, saying, I hope you understand why we did it. I said, no, y'all said I
Yeah.
can choose for who I can have, and
Yeah.
y'all did this without even notifying me. So make sure you know your rights too,
Yeah.
because if you're able to choose who you want, that's what they should respect. Don't have
Yeah,
them
they
switch something up.
should.
Yeah, don't have them switch something up on you and they don't tell you. That's very
Yeah.
important. So that's why I always make sure to check. That way I can like make sure I fix anything prior, to first day
Yeah.
classes. That's what
And
happened with
check,
me.
check, 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 check your email always for school because professors will email you, students will email you. You'll get notifications about campus, like we call our dean the president of a college. I think some colleges still had dean of the college or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we call ours the president of our college, and he'll send out emails about important events. So make sure to check your email over and over again. I check like twice a day. If like I check like sometimes 3 times a day too, just to make sure it's always open in my laptop, just to make sure I like have like I'm like at like responding to every email So just make sure to keep checking. It's important to keep up on the updates on campus just in case, hey, you have a snow day today. It's not safe to walk to class or drive to class in this weather. Like stuff like that too is just very important. We are running out of time on our Zoom thing, so we'll probably have to wrap this up. But it's been so much fun. Sorry
Yes.
if y'all see me yawning. I
Oh,
apparently
you and
10
me both.
p.m. is my like bedtime apparently. I am so lame. Oh my goodness.
No,
I
no,
used
girl,
to
you
be
ain't
able to
lame.
sleep out like stay up till like midnight, 1 a.m., 2
Yes,
a.m.
girl, I'm 24 and it seems like I'm an old lady. It seems like 9 o'clock is my bedtime. Adulting is hard, but
I'm like, what? Why am I tired now? But
seriously, we make it work. But just also remember, it's okay that you make mistakes. You're new at this.
yeah,
It's just like anything in life. If you make a mistake, just learn from it and move
yeah,
on. It's hard, but that's all we got. But
yeah.
thank you again, everyone, for episode 3. And
Yeah.
we please ask you to like, subscribe, and share with your friends because,
Yes.
again, we wish we had this advice, right, Gracie?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else you would like to add, Gracie, before we sign off?
Um, just to say thank you all for listening again and thank you for being a part of this journey. So excited. Love you guys are officially a part of our squad. So welcome to our squad, y'all. So it'll be
Yeah.
so much fun. Just know like I know this can seem overwhelming at times, the information we're giving you. Take a deep breath. Everything will be okay. Literally like yeah, let's take a deep breath. I love taking deep breaths. It just helps me so much. But anyway, take
Mm-hmm.
deep breaths. Words. Take deep breaths. You'll be okay. Welcome to the squad, and just know, like, you'll have an amazing adventure of college, no matter what. No matter what club you'll join, you're gonna have an amazing time and everyone's college adventure is different too. So keep that in mind too. What I share might not be what you experience or what Jazzy experiences, and that's okay. Everyone is individuals and everything. So yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
listening.
All right. Thank you again, y'all. We hope to hear
Yeah.
from you soon, and we'll be on the lookout for episode 4.
Yeah. Oh, follow our Instagram and TikTok too.
Yep.
It's College 101 Squad podcast on Instagram and TikTok. So go ahead and like, follow, subscribe, all of the above.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are.
Yeah.
All
Have a
right.
wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.